Welcome to the probably the second match of the playoffs you're seeing at this point. We had a couple of problems getting things set up for the playoffs this week. Some communication problems figuring out how we were going to do them, who was going to narrate them, getting the battles. We wanted live recordings. We don't have them at this point. I think we're going to have all of that smoothed out by next week, hopefully. But for now, you're getting this battle probably a day late. But, whatever. It's still going to be a good battle. I'm Chris, and joining me is John, a.k.a. Pokemens.
What's good? And this actually isn't live. What we did is we slowed it down so it's like 75% speed, so we can still get our thoughts out. We don't know the outcome. We haven't seen it, and we can just go with it. We're going to do a team preview, talk about it, pretend, they're getting set up, all that. Simulate it like it's a real live battle. Again, this is like, the first time everything's going. We have all the new teams, more playoff games, so we're still trying to figure things out. And hopefully you guys still enjoy this. You still get the live feeling. You got two commentators, but it's not live. I don't know if that really matters to anyone. Some of you guys would have actually seen this live streamed. I know Kote was able to do that, but yeah, as Chris said, we're going to figure it out. It's going to get better every single time. And hopefully the championship, nothing cuts out at the end, because that was terrible last year.
No, we're actually intentionally doing that every season from now on.
I had stopped watching the GBA like at the end of the season, and then I was like, oh, championship, I got to go watch that. Watch through, and the end it cuts out, and I was just like, really?
Yep. You had to wait weeks.
I took time out of my day for this.
Yep.
But
yeah, let's look at the team preview. These are fairly representative teams, but there's a couple of weird things that I wasn't expecting, or that I was expecting to see, and I'm not.
I'm definitely with you. It looks like Kote's team especially looks like a Kote-esque team, but I don't understand why there's no Quagsire.
I think it's just a matter of what he could fit on the team now that I'm looking at the whole thing, because I agree, like Quagsire would have been my go-to every single week because it does what it does so well. But I guess Nick doesn't have too many things that really set up.
Except, and I don't know. I'm looking at Nick's team, though, and I see a Thunderous. That could be Nasty Plot. I see a Mawile. Could be Swords Dance. And I see an Aegislash. That could be Swords Dance. But
well, he's not going to stand on a Thunderous with Quagsire anyways, because it's obvious grass not. The Mawile, yeah. The Aegislash, yeah. But instead, he brought Crocodile, which is a pretty good check, actually, to Aegislash, as long as he's not running the Sword move, and even then it's gonna outspeed overwhelmingly. So
that's true. So I mean, okay, I guess that does make a lot of sense. And there's obviously the you can only bring 6 things, but Kote only has 1 Swift Swimmer, which might be a problem. He's gonna definitely have to conserve that Kabutops. He can't really be as offensive as he might want to be. So I don't know.
It's true. Nick doesn't have the fastest team in the world, but he's got a couple of things with enough speed to prevent problems, and he's really good about making sure he has specific amounts of EVs and things to put speed where it needs to be. Thing I'm surprised we're not seeing. I'm surprised not to see Gardevoir on Nick's team. I felt like Trace in this matchup is just far too good of an ability to have.
But that might also explain why Kote only has 1 Swift Swimmer.
That's true, but I mean, most of the things on his team are just Regenerator, Swift Swim, Hydration. Nick could run Rest on it if he wants to. Even Technician if he's running like Hidden Power or something like that.
That's a really good point. I wonder if that's going to be an oversight for Nick, or it's just he has the team he needed, and this is what he's going to go with.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Kote, especially after seeing Nick fight Shady and how much work Gardevoir put in, Kote would have probably had a plan for Gardevoir.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's an oversight. But again, Nick's kind of, I would argue, the mad genius of the GBA in a way.
I've heard him talk about his teams.
Yeah, he's the guy that, is in the corner kind of, and you're like, what is he doing? I don't understand what he's doing. And then he comes out and it works, you know? And it's like, all right, there's reason to the madness.
And one thing we haven't really talked about on Nick's team, he has Roserade and Melodic, and I don't know how Kote is going to break through that core. He doesn't really have much physical offense beyond the Kabutops, and as I said, he has to preserve that. So I don't know how he's going to be able to whittle both of them down. It could be really difficult.
He's got very little to deal with Milotic at all, actually. Very little besides, I guess Amoonguss is decent, but it's not going to want to take Ice Beams all day. And
I think
You
that's the
know,
biggest oversight of this match, how to deal with Melodic.
I don't even know if that's necessarily an oversight. I'm not sure Kote has anything on his team for
I
it.
Well, on that note, are you ready to get into the battle?
Yeah, man, let's go ahead and I want to see how this shakes out. I have no idea what's going to happen here. It's been very difficult to avoid spoilers for this.
Okay, so there's Kote with the challenge, and let's get it. I only said that because I need to know when I'm editing this one to throw
Yeah.
that up. Okay, so the Crocodile
That's your
lead,
3-2-1 sync. All right.
basically. Okay.
Is he going to be running the Bluff Scarf Stealth Rock
Ooh.
set?
I don't know. And he's got Tyler the
It's him.
Rosary. That's kind of funny. Throwing the opponent's name out there. The big middle finger to
Well,
start
actually,
off.
that's a Doctor Who reference
Is it?
because it's Rose Tyler who
So is it
is
like a double
companion.
reference?
I mean, I think it's just convenient jab.
Okay, the
All right,
switch.
safe switch in
Yep.
there. That's pretty, standard. I do think. Well, I don't even know if that really tells us anything about that crocodile because
No.
even if it was Scarf, it's not really going to have anything to do substantial damage
Ooh, the
unless it was running like a
swagger.
fire.
Do you see
Oh,
that? That's the first time that's been used this season.
yeah.
That's weird. What would he have brought that for? Is he just being a dick?
You know, it's Nick. He very well might just be being a dick. I mean, it shuts it down. There's really,
Yeah, now, huh?
it's gonna force out some switches because he's not worried about any extra physical damage on it. It's gonna put, more damage on him.
Ooh, okay, okay. Oh, wow, that does a lot of damage too.
That does. He's probably running a physical Mungus, I would
Wow.
guess from that.
And the
Kote over predicting
big
right
over
there.
prediction. I don't know why Nick would have switched out there.
No, he has no reason to. I mean,
And his entire team is threatened by
Roserade
Roserade.
has pretty significant special bulk on
Mm-hmm.
its side. Like it's gonna take anything Amoonguss is gonna have fairly easily. Goes back into the Polytoad. I would imagine this is probably where a bulk of his special defense is.
Yeah. He
I
needs this thing
think
to stay around. Oh,
even though Kote mixes it up, I believe he generally prefers especially bulky Polytoad. And yeah,
hidden power. What? So he's got
resisted.
Swagger, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, and Giga Drain. What the hell is that hidden power?
Well, it's resisted, and he was probably predicting that, I would imagine. So maybe fire.
Maybe, but that's a weird. That's a little too risky though to go into the Mega Scizor
It
this
is.
early. A lot of over
It
predictions
is.
this early in the match. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive game from Kote, actually. Like, even though it's aggressive in switches, it's still, he's trying to get momentum going here, and Nick's kind of holding it down. I guess here's a good instance to find out if it's hidden power fire. Yeah,
That definitely
all
is
right.
Hidden Power Fire. Holy shit, that's max offensive or especially offensive
It's
Rose Raid.
it's probably technician.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't
Um,
even think about that in the Yachi Berry.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's run technician. He ran technician against Shady actually, but didn't get a chance to use it.
And there's the
Still
first
can't
knockout.
take those knockoffs though. Can't
No,
can't
now
handle
that's
that.
really weird in my opinion. Why would he let his Rose Raid go down so early when it's so good against Kote's team?
Well, I mean, he's taking a substantial chunk out of that Scizor, and he could be banking on it not having Roost and just consider it's in chip damage range of everything else. Where if it switches in, it's probably going to be close to fodder, if not fodder.
That's true, and it gives him a really good opportunity to set the substitute. So I now understand what he was trying to do: get rid of the Rose Raid, get the sub up, and I don't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's the psychic. Okay, so he was.
That's
was
classic Nick coverage.
that was
going
a well thought out. Ooh, didn't kill, but that was a good thought process. Get rid of the Rose Raid, get the sub up, get the Amoonguss to come in, and then almost take it out. That was a
Mhm.
good series of plays.
I'm
Wow.
gonna be interested to see if this can take out the sub. I don't.
Ooh, it does.
It does. That's some power actually.
Wow.
Surprising power.
I wonder if that was min-max because that Amoonguss living with regen. Oh, he's leaving it in to die now. Oh shit.
Kote's sacking a lot of things early to get his again, I think these are just plays where he's trying to get his momentum going, and so far I'm not seeing it happening. I think
No.
Nick's, in my opinion, Nick's controlling this match.
100%, and I'm expecting Kabutops. Okay, that's what I was expecting at this point. But the Melodic is still around, so This is looking really bad for
Now,
Kote right
now
now.
here's the question: is that a safe play? Don't you fear the Thunderwave bringing in your Kabutops?
No, there's no prankster with that one. It's Volt Absorb.
That's true.
And the Waterfall. So no predictions, not banking on the Stone Edge miss.
That's safe play.
That's
Safe
smart.
play. I
That's
think
smart.
he's I that's a very smart play, especially after having to have sacked stuff to get to this point. Unfortunately, now the rain's going to go away, and while it's still a threat, it's a much slower threat.
Yeah,
So
and he can't do anything to melodic. As we said, like
nope.
there's not much he has.
And he risked taking the skull burn. So that's the very predictable, obvious switch out. You know, didn't
Hmm.
necessarily have to be to Polytoad, but it was the safe play. It was the right play.
Well, I don't think
I would
melodic can
say.
do anything to Politoed, so they're kind of stuck. Neither of them can do anything. And the hidden power from the melodic,
Unless, yeah, this might be something. But again,
fire
that's
maybe? No,
super
no.
effective. So either grass or
I think that might have been
thunder
grass
or
for the
electric.
Kabutops.
Yeah, that would. I think grass works a little bit better, just in case he had brought, Quagsire or Claydol. So grass would probably be the safer assumption on that. But Politoed takes it, no problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And here's the Scald going for the Scald. Wow, Kote not thinking. Nick making the great play.
Either that or just won that residual damage on the Milotic, which you can't blame him for at this point. That's a
No,
bold move by Nick, though, knowing that Scald is a factor, unless he's running Guts
that's what
Hariyama,
I'm thinking.
which
He might have
is
guts.
probably, yeah.
And going into the Mega Scizor predicting the knockoff. Wow, ballsy.
Ballsy.
And
And getting off a roost. That's nice.
that's big. Wow, that's
That's
a
nice.
really big play. That's what you expect to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's oh, okay. There you go. Nick taking Fire Punch onto that Hariyama.
Doesn't do too
That's
much.
that's surprising to bring a fire move to this team and take up one of your coverage spots. Because you only have four moves here, and against
Hmm.
a rain team where really Fire Punch is only good against one thing.
Yeah, that's really weird. I wouldn't have. Look at this. Even with the rain up, it's just not doing well. With the rain up, that is, it's not doing too much.
Yeah.
And is Nick Life Orb? Did I see that earlier?
I'm not seeing.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Okay, so Kote only has so many more turns of rain too. So
Yeah, I mean, he is gaining HP off of this.
yeah, and now
He's
he can attack. Ooh, he's gonna go for the roost again. I would have thought he would have attacked at that point.
he's going to end up at full health though. Now he can switch back out at full, and probably at the end of the rain, I would imagine, or close to it. Actually stays in. That's
No, I
all
think
right.
that I think he outspeeds. That's the thing. He does outspeed.
Ah, okay.
So okay, so now he's gonna go for the attack. I feel like he should have gone for the attack last turn. Well, I don't know what the rain cycle is, but okay, okay.
I think Hariyama ate that pretty well, actually. Hariyama's got some bulk.
Yes, it does. But is that gonna be a 2-hit KO? The rain is gone, so now Kote's got to
It
make a
is with the
big decision.
rain. I mean, Bullet Punch isn't going to take him out, I don't think,
Let's
unless we
see.
get some min max.
Ooh,
Yep.
and there
Nope.
goes the Mega Scizor.
Which, I mean, putting him work, he managed to force Nick to sacrifice the Rosary to it, and he's got Hariyama down at a very low point with no reliable recovery. Nick doesn't have a Wish Passer or anything like that. Hariyama, outside of rest, doesn't have any natural recovery. So, I mean,
I guess just getting rid of the things that can take on the Politoed.
yeah, he's it's interesting. I think it's going to be another 1-1 match for Hariyama here as
Yep.
goes down to that skull.
Hmm.
Guy who was MVP running just
Kind of fell off. Yeah.
last half of the season throwing out a lot of 1-1s.
People figured out what it did.
I mean, it did a lot of stuff though.
It did do a lot of stuff. And in this battle, it got rid of one of Kote's best things. So now he's
I mean,
all special.
yeah, before he became the full-fledged Rain team, Mega Scizor was his victory condition a lot of weeks. So
Mm-hmm. And against
sacrificing.
Nick's team, he won because of Mega Scizor, if you remember.
Oh, Nick getting shut down there with the Thunderbolt onto the ground type. That's
I don't
that's a
think he
bad
has
momentum
anything
moment.
for the Crocodile with that switch out.
I mean, I would be amazed if he's not carrying Grass Knot, but
He switched out. I
Maybe.
don't think he is, and that crit's actually pretty big.
Yeah, crit and removing the recovery. Well, the item recovery, probably still running actual recover on the Milotic. So,
Hmm.
though I don't think we've seen it yet.
Well, yeah, we
So that'll be
definitely have to
interesting.
see what he's going to do now. Oh, he does have the recover.
Yep, there we go. It's a good time for it.
I might have gone for the
Unfortunately,
Earthquake at that point for Kota.
yeah, I might have stayed in and just gone for something. However, he is going to get a free turn of something here off the mana fee because Milotic isn't going to really do anything. You can't toxicate. It can just hydration rest off.
Hmm.
So just go straight for the damage, though. No,
I
no
think he
going for
predicted
a
the
tail blow.
Thunderous, maybe.
I think he probably just wanted some free damage on something. Surfs in the rain. Maybe
True.
Specs at that point. That's doing a lot of damage to a shield form.
It is. It definitely is. And knowing Nick, that Age Slash has a certain amount of special defense, that's what I would imagine. With Shadow Ball, I don't think it's going to do too much. It's kind of a weird play. He's sacking his Age Slash. Maybe bring it to a range where he can get one-shotted by Thunderbolt. And no, there is lefties. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that's just a power. That's got to be probably modest in the rain doing surfs off of that, or I guess Nick could not be running special, but I don't know why he wouldn't be running special.
I don't like this play on Nick. He's giving him lefties recovery, and there's no way he's
Yeah.
going to live.
Did we see Nick's item? Is he running lefties or?
He is, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I don't.
It's not gonna be. He's not in a livable range.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. I mean, these are. Maybe he's trying to. No, he's trying to get the rain down. That's what he's trying to do.
He's wearing out turns of rain. So yeah, in that case, that's a solid play. It'll force Manaphy back out and then get the Politoed back in, which I think is probably a good move if you're thinking long term in the game. You want to take out that Politoed. It's hard because it's not staying in very long. It's pretty much just coming in for rain and bouncing back out. And that's actually helped Kote out a lot at this point.
It definitely has. And that's smart because now we can bring in this Mega Mawile and kill something. Something's going to die, it seems.
Yeah, most likely.
I forgot about the Mega Mawile. It's weird, Kote had not weird, but Kote had the Mega that could kind of just sweep Nick's team, and now Nick has the Mega that might be able to sweep Kote's team. They're going back and forth. Threats
it's
are just
true.
going down.
I mean, it's lacking speed, but it's got decent defenses on it. I mean, it's not going to love to take a surf, but
ooh,
not a guaranteed 2-hit.
No. And there goes down the man.
Can't take a player off. So that's a good sack on Kote's part. Something had to die. Manaphy typically, to really do damage, you want to have to set it up. And, it's hard to set things up against a player of a higher caliber. So I think sacking that off was a good move. Get in the free Crocodile for the Intimidate. Big. Intimidate. Earthquake's going to scare it out regardless of the Intimidate, I would imagine.
And I don't think his Thunderous can do anything to it because I just think he would have stayed in. I don't know. It's weird, but let's go for the Earthquake. Now, let's see how much does this do. Because there was a point where he could have gone for the Earthquake on the Melodic.
I think he could have killed. I think based off that, that's right around probably 30, 40 hit points, something like that, which is about the range it was at.
Maybe. I mean, we could definitely be wrong, but I would have at least gone for it at that point.
Yeah, I think it would have been a solid move. Again, straight out to the Politoed, get the rain going back up. He is running out of things that benefit from the rain a little bit, but he's still got the ace card of the Kabutops back there, which is kind of the scissor of the last half of the season for him. It's been what's getting all of his kills. So keeping it in the back pocket, letting Politoed here sponge some hits and going for the Scald again.
Try to give it Marvel Scale. Does that make any sense to you?
I mean, no leftovers anymore because they did get knocked out. So residual damage, it's going to force recovers and it's going to force switch outs.
That's true, but it is going to make it a lot harder for his, ace in the hole to kill it. I mean, Kabutops Marvel Scale.
He's going to be doing less damage, and we haven't actually seen him with anything to hit it super effective yet. It's, we haven't seen a single electric or grass move out of anything on Kote's team. But that rest Politoed, that's a big move.
It is, but what does he have left to switch into? I think he only has Kabutops, Crocodile, this thing especially,
because that Politoed is especially bulky. I don't think minus several crits consecutively, he could take that Politoed out before its guaranteed rest turns were up, and then would just wake up and be able to rest it back off.
That's very true. The sleep talk, though, if he gets the Scald, this could be the end for Nick. Nope, he gets the rest. Okay.
have we seen the fourth move on the Polytoad? We've seen Scald, Rest, and Sleep Talk now.
Yeah. Maybe Ice Beam. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think we've seen an Ice Beam yet,
I don't know.
so wonder what else he's running.
Definitely something
I
I want to see.
secretly just want it to be Hypnosis.
That would be crazy.
I just want to see Kote run Sleep Talk, Hypnosis, Polytoad, and hit. Oh,
Wow.
Crocodile taking a super effective play rough after the Intimidate, of course, but
That is
still.
max defensive. I'd imagine. That's crazy. Forcing the
And
switch.
yeah, I mean, it's even max speed. I don't think, Mega Mawile is going to outspeed it, and it would go down to the Earthquake. Goes for the Stealth Rock, though. Good
Predicting the
prediction.
sucker punch. I like it.
Good prediction.
Hmm.
It covered both his bases, actually, because it predicts the Sucker Punch. It also predicts a switch out, because had he just gone for an Earthquake, obviously, the Thunderous would have come in and been fine. There's the Grass Knot.
Okay. Yep. That's good. Saved it for the end.
That
Made
was
him.
a solid play by Nick,
Yep.
keeping it in the back pocket, making sure some of the bigger threats, like no more Scissor to switch in and take that anymore. And so now he's pretty free at this point to Grass Knot away. Nothing's really going to want to take it.
Now.
Besides super fast.
Yeah, Kabutops. So I think it comes completely down to Kabutops. Can Kabutops take on the Melodic?
With that burn, maybe,
If
if
he goes
it
for the
doesn't
Stone
get
Edge.
burned itself.
I think he has to go for the Stone Edge right now. He went for the Waterfall, though.
Safe Waterfall.
Safe Waterfall is safe.
It's still a lot of damage. Kote is a pretty smart guy. I imagine he's done the calcs, but man, that does nothing.
No.
That does nothing after the Marvel scale.
And the rain's gone. Ooh.
He can't stay in. He can't risk taking the Scald and the burn.
He might
Nick's
have to,
gonna
though.
get a free recover off.
No, yeah, okay, he does go to the Stone Edge. I thought he had to do it.
Because he still outspeeds.
Mhm.
That's, yeah,
Life
okay.
Orb, stab, and it's gone.
There
Okay.
he goes. That's it. That was the right play by Kote, actually. He knew his speed.
I like
He
it.
did not pull a Grambles
Oh
and
my god,
think
I don't even want to think about that.
he didn't mess up Kabutop's base speed.
No, and I think he has to go and try and get rain up at this point.
Is Polito gonna die for the rain? Is this the final rain sacrifice?
I think so. I think this is it. I think we have to see who's gonna
I
win.
think we're late enough in the game. This is gonna be down to the wire.
Mega Mawile versus Kabutops with rain. Okay.
Getting up that rain, so he'll at this point it's a guaranteed 7 turns of rain, something like that,
It's
with a
not gonna-
damp rock,
I don't think
which
it's gonna-
I assume he's running.
I know because this is gone. I think it's 1v1 at this point. And does Kote go for the Aqua Jet now, or does he go for the Waterfall?
I mean, he's got to go for waterfalls.
You think? But if he goes for the Aqua Jet and Nick goes for the Sucker Punch, then
I think he can take one.
okay. He does take one, but he will take himself out
Yes.
with Life Orbs. So
Oh, is he life? I didn't even notice that
he
he
is
was
Life
life
Orb.
orb.
So who wins?
So wow, he's gonna go down.
But the Mega
He's
Mawile went
gonna go down.
first. So who wins?
He still has Thunderous in his back, doesn't he?
Oh shit, he does, doesn't he?
I believe so. I think Nick has won this game.
Nick has definitely, Nick won the game. Wow.
Yeah.
So he
With
definitely,
the Thunderous in the back pocket, and the Thunderous in the back pocket.
he had to have
Wow.
gone for the Aqua Jet. He just, he made the wrong
That
play.
was, I mean, yeah. I don't know if if an Aqua Jet would have taken him down though.
But it would have,
To be honest,
no, but the Sucker Punch wouldn't have worked, but
it wouldn't have worked.
that was a
But
50-50.
he still would have taken Life Orb recoil and gone down a little bit. I don't know.
That's just a big 50-50, and that was a really good game. That is what I wanted to see in the playoffs.
That was a down to the wire game, and I think honestly, if you were coming into this, Nick has to be the underdog on paper.
Yes.
Even though he's played tremendously and at one point was the best team, like stat wise, throughout the I don't know many people who would have had him picked going into this match. But that just goes to show amazing battle, and in the matchup-based format of the GBA, anybody can win any week, especially when you're just an amazing battler and you play a solid game like that.
That was a great game. Wow. With I don't think Kote had enough firepower when it came down to it. I mean, he lost his Amoonguss late, and you would have thought that. I mean, early on, you would have thought that would have been big because Amoonguss really stopped a lot of things.
He
But
sacked a lot of defensive options very early on. You know, Scizor has a good bit of natural bulk, and he let it go down. You know, that fire punch was really the only thing Nick had for it,
mm,
and he let it, you know, eat those up until he was down at a point where he shouldn't have been. Like you said, he sacked the Amoonguss pretty early. It was, I think Nick had control of momentum for most of that match. Uh, from the way it seemed to me, a lot of it was Kote being reactionary until about halfway through when he finally started to get control of rain turns and things like that.
yeah,
But by then, he had already lost his core.
I think Nick did the best job planning, and I was talking to Gubs about it in a recap video earlier, and what we said
Shameless
is,
plug.
well, that's not up. I don't care.
Shameless plug. A recap video that's going to be on John's channel later on this week. You can check that out. Leave a like.
But I said if Nick planned, if he went back to the way he was when he was 8-0, if he went back to those calking everything, every situation, this and that, he's gonna win. And I think the things like the psychic on the Amoonguss right away, it didn't win him the game, but it put the momentum in his favor. Kote was kind of taken aback, it seemed, and he had to get rid of something. And it's just the little things like that. You know, the hidden power grass on Melodic, different, didn't expect it. The fire punch on the Hariyama, like you wouldn't have thought those things would be big, but it puts
The offensive technician, hidden power fire on the Roserade,
yes.
putting in big damage, even though he sacked it early. That really was a momentum shift right there.
It was. It backs Kote into a corner. He loses Amoonguss. He loses Mega Scizor. And all of a sudden, he only has Manaphy and Kabutops to deal with Melodic. And Mega Mawile, those aren't easy to deal with, you know? And you can't deal with all of them.
I mean, there's, you know, obviously the GBA works on its own ban rules, and by no means is Nick, you know, whoring out Ubers or anything like that. There's a reason Mawile is Uber. It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unstoppable, especially in the matchup-based
I mean, we
format.
saw Crocodile take a play rough and scare it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally counterable, but it's still a scary thing. You know, every time it was brought in, we pretty much went to, what do you think Kote's going to let die?
Yeah, what's dead?
That kind of becomes the chatter at the moment, but amazing battle, really down to the wire.
I thoroughly enjoyed this match. It's one of my favorite of the season. I'm really happy it happened in the playoffs. And
you have got to be happy as the guy who no longer has to
happiest.
fear the rain team.
This means if I make the championship, my chances of winning went up tremendously. Because that was the one team I couldn't beat.
I mean, before this match, I wouldn't have known that Nick could have beaten it. I'm very impressed by this. I mean, we haven't seen them play since the second week, and that was almost a virtually entirely different team for Kote.
Yep.
He didn't have auto weather at that point. He didn't have Kabutops.
Nick didn't have things like Roserade either. I mean, there's little things like that he didn't have.
Yeah, which, I mean, it did work for him. It did so much work for him. A lot better than Tangrowth would have done because, you know, he has that extra poison typing, so he's not taking some of those hits as hard.
And I think it's smart.
He has a better coverage move. So.
I think it's smart that Nick brought the Aegislash and the Mega Mawile. I don't know if it was, you know, the best things for Kote's team. I don't think Aegislash was the best thing, but just bringing the scary things, like the threats, things that can take a hit and just kill something. Smart.
Yeah, I still might have put Gardevoir in place of that Aegislash, but in the end, it ended up working out. I'm not sure bulky Gardevoir would have been taking those surfs in the rain.
No.
Regardless of the effectiveness, you know, all he managed to do was get off one Shadow Ball, but it was enough to, you know, put Manaphy in range where it became death fodder for him. So Nick made the right plays regardless of what we think and theory moning and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And I think we've gotten to the end of this. So what are your thoughts with the Nick and Gubs battle that will be coming up in the near future?
That's going to be a very, very interesting thing. Gubs has one of the best defensive cores in the league, bar none. He has so much natural bulk and ways to invest it on his team. It's frightening.
It's one of the best wall cores in history, honestly. That's just one of the best things you could ever have, and the fact that he's gotten that, I don't know if Nick's gonna be able to break it, but he does have the Mega Mawile. He does have the Mega
Mawile. Hariyama can hit some stuff pretty damn hard. Aegislash can hit things hard. Thundurus can hit things hard. It may be Yeah, which again, he didn't even have to bring that. He
No,
didn't even have to run that to outspeed Kabutops. He just played around it.
it's going to be interesting. I don't really think there's any reason to, say who we think's
It's
going to win. I think that's just going to be.
it's gonna be a very close battle, though. I can tell you that. Their other
Mm,
battle this season, 1-0 loss for Gubs, probably gonna be pretty motivated to not let that happen
no,
again. But Nick's a very cautious and very smart player, so I can't see it being a shutout. It's gonna be super interesting. I'm excited for it.
I definitely cannot wait for that. But I think that's about it. So, if you have anything else to say, go for it.
Nope. I think that's going to wrap it up. Thanks, John, for doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed that match as much as we did. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. It's actually my first time doing like a live commentary of a match, so I could probably do better, but hopefully I did all right and nobody hates it. If you do hate it, I don't care. But leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave comments. Let us know what you thought about the match, what you think is going to happen in the upcoming weeks. If you think John has a chance against Nick or Gubs, or if he's going to lose horribly before that or during that. Who knows? Just leave comments. It's fun to talk to you guys and see what's going on. Thanks for watching. Thanks, John, for being here. Enjoy the rest of your playoffs, guys.